Bruh, I'm about to miss my entire warm-up for yoga. Whoops. Good morning, my loves. Welcome to the Self-Care Sunday vlog. So like I said, I am on my way to do some yoga. I usually go to this group class. It starts at like 10. It's already 10. I had a rough start this morning. I don't know, your girl was just like not getting up really. I think it's because it's rainy and it's gloomy outside, and y'all, I be getting the sad. I be getting the seasonal affective. I do, and I don't say that lightly. I can just tell that my energy really does shift in the winter months, and it's way harder for me to stay motivated and stay on task. So, you know, it's a little rough because today is a long day, as well as my self-care day, right? I have a lot of school stuff to just catch up on in terms of my step one prep, just because I took this Saturday off and I made my schedule in such a way that each week is very specific to like different topics that I want to get done. And so today I have to like cram a bunch of stuff in, and it's like, oh, this is the opposite of self-care, because I often feel really guilty about taking things slow, about taking time off, about just doing anything that's not academically reinforced, you know, because I think it's hard to tell my brain to calm down in the midst of such a hectic and chaotic career. I obviously am well aware that I have a bunch of stuff to do at all times, and so it's hard for me to refocus my brain and tell myself like, bro, it's okay. Like, it's okay that you took this morning to just pray. It's okay that you took this morning to just stretch. So these Sundays are so crucial to me because I feel like it is a gentle reset to my entire week that just allows me to reconnect with my mind and my body and my spirit. So yeah, I didn't mean to be late. Again, I think I just like woke up and it was raining, gloomy and gray outside, and my body just naturally wanted to just lay down and relax. And I have to actively combat that when that happens, because now here we are. Now look, now I'm about to be zooming, speed racing to get to this dang class. It's okay though, because the only thing that I'm gonna miss probably is the warm up. And y'all, I've been doing yoga for so many years that I can actually just jump right into my flow and not injure myself. Do not recommend, okay? If y'all are beginners, please make sure that you're getting there on time to do the warm up. But for me, it's just kind of like whatever. I could literally do a handstand and into a split and be all right. Not the tire pressure is low, warning. Not my car also needing a little bit of TLC. But anyways, I will check back in with y'all after I come back from doing my yoga, because I also have to stop at the store and get a couple of things for Sunday dinner. I have made it a habit and a tradition that every Sunday I make myself a meal from scratch. Not actual scratch, but just to make myself a meal that's outside of my meal prep. And yeah, I will take you guys along when I do that. I've got a story to tell. Y'all, I was so emotional this entire morning, but this is me post yoga smiling. I was kind of embarrassed because somebody saw me recording, and then boom, I had the sauna all to myself, y'all. Little victories, little wins. Bruh, y'all see this mountain going on my dang face? Oh my god. Like, waiting for it to surface so I can put a good pimple patch on it. But I've been putting pimple patches on it like every day, trying to get it to come up, and that's why it's so big now, because I can feel it and like it hurts. But anyways, yoga went well. It's so funny because I literally was praying. I was like, well, maybe they got started a little late and I'm not gonna miss too much. Y'all, they literally did not start until I got in the class because they were having technical difficulties. I was like, the power of prayer. So I was able to attend the entire session. So that was really good. And now we are on our way to Walmart, so that way we can who's we? Who's we? Who's in the car? Who's that lady in the chair?
What fucking lady? Ain't no lady in here.
But so that way I can pick up my dinner tonight, and then honestly I probably won't be back to recording until after I'm done studying, because baby, this is supposed to be a self-care Sunday vlog. There is nothing self-care about doing homework. Not nothing about that, especially hours worth of homework. Okay, y'all, so I picked up all the ingredients. They didn't have lamb shoulder chops, which is essentially kind of like the same thing as a steak, but they did have lamb leg shanks. So I think that's gonna be really good. I have to season it really well. I hope I have enough red wine at home, because I love cooking my meats and wine. Honestly, if I had less time constraints, right, like a bunch of studying and whatnot to do, cooking would probably be one of my favorite hobbies. Shout out to my dad for teaching me how to cook. My dad and my cousin actually owns a restaurant in Baltimore, so if y'all are ever there, I'm gonna plug her information up on the screen. Yeah, support the fam. But like my mom bless her heart. My mom can't even boil water. Bless her heart. I remember when I was young, right? I asked her for some pancakes, me and my brother. And for whatever reason, she did not know what the pancake mix looked like, even though the pancake box was labeled, right? She picked up the flour instead and made us flour, water, egg pancakes.
Brother,
it was the nastiest thing I've ever tasted in my life. It had patches of flour in it. And she was so embarrassed. Another time, because again, she can't really cook like that, I told her I was hungry, and usually my dad could just make something on the fly. But she was like, oh, you know, like we have like some noodles. So here little old me go, didn't put enough water inside the noodles, almost burnt the damn house down. Okay guys, so while I'm on my study break, I am setting up the Mexico Grand Prix. If y'all didn't know, I am a huge Formula One fan. My favorite team right now is McLaren. My favorite drivers are, well, Sir Lewis Hamilton is not a favorite of mine. I'm not a fan of him. I'm trying to be his wife in case I ever get famous and he sees this. I love you. So I support Lewis Hamilton, and then I'm a fan of Oscar Piastri just because he's so young. And the McLaren car is just really good this year. If y'all don't know anything about Formula One, I highly recommend watching Drive to Survive on Netflix. It's a good little recap of all of the drama. And then I feel like Formula One is actually very easy to follow because there's only but so many drivers on the grid and but so many teams. So it's pretty easy to pick up on like who's who, their personalities, all the way down to their engineers and who's in their, you know, pit stops and garages, because it's just not that much to keep track of as compared to a big sport like, I don't know, football. So this is what it looks like right now. So right now I'm looking at the driver's map just because I wanted to know who all was in what position since I started a little bit late, and it's sometimes hard to know like who is where, even though they also have this what is this lineup or standings, right? They do have these standings up on their screen while you watch the race. I just feel like, obviously I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on the track. I'm not really trying to look at this. So I'm just looking at this very briefly, and now I'm about to turn on the Grand Prix. I'm actually going to watch the Grand Prix in Spanish because if you guys didn't know, yes, I do know how to speak Spanish, pero yo nunca practico, okay? I never freaking practice, and at this point I'm scared. Estoy preocupada que voy a olvidar la lengua. I feel like I'm going to forget the language because I just don't use it, and that use it or lose it phenomenon is real. So yeah, I'm about to turn on this race, put it in Spanish, put it in the Spanish subtitles, and do some work at the same time, and hopefully that neuroplasticity gets to work and I get a little bit of benefit. Alright, so I'm about to cook my Sunday dinner. It shouldn't take me too long because y'all, I was not playing. I literally bought everything low-key kind of pre-packaged. Can y'all even see that? I know that y'all kind of far away from me, but I figured this is the best angle so y'all can see me cooking and just like the whole kitchen. But yeah, I literally bought everything almost pre-done except for the meat and like the asparagus, but literally the asparagus is gonna go right into the oven and just be chilling for like 20 minutes. Then by the time that that's done, I'll be done having seared the little lamb shanks and stuff. So I should be up out this kitchen soon. But I was just thinking, y'all, what is y'all's comfort meal? I feel like for me, it's probably hog maws and chitlins. Nobody come for me. I remember I said that to my friend and she told me like, girl, we're free. You don't have to eat slave food anymore, which I thought was crazy. But it's actually pretty accurate because hog maws and chitlins is like the intestines and the stomach lining of a pig. So very much scraps. But it's just so good, and I don't know, it actually takes a little minute to make them. So I feel like whenever I saw my dad just in the kitchen making the hog maws and chitlins with the rice, I'm like, okay, bet, like, he put some love into that. I look like anytime that I come home to Baltimore, y'all, that's the first thing he asks is, do I want some hog maws and chitlins with some potato salad? So I don't know, I probably will never make them in my house because they do stink. They do stink. But I think that that's probably my go-to comfort food. What's y'all's? Let me know something. Is it a pot roast? Is it corned beef? But let me be quiet and get to cooking. And honestly, this might just be a montage because I most definitely need to like focus. And then I'm also, I say focus as if I'm not gonna be watching some of my favorite gaming channels, y'all. I love me some RDC, I love me some Berlizzi. Shout out to them, shout out to the squad. I wish I could have went to the Berlizzi ball. So I'm about to just have that playing in the background, or I might watch something on Hulu if they didn't upload anything. But yeah, I'm not that person that listens to music while I cook. I like to just have like funny things going on in the background and occasionally look back because I don't know, I don't wanna be up in this kitchen burning up hot as hell. So montage. This is the Asian. I just realized what I was watching on Hulu, y'all. I'm watching The Resident. It's on Hulu and on Netflix. I like it, but I definitely feel that now that I'm in medical school, I cannot watch medical shows and dramas normally anymore. Literally, as the characters are going through trying to describe what's wrong with the patient, I'm diagnosing them. In this episode, I'm on season 3, episode 16, right? And I think in this episode, the patient had, oh my gosh, what was the description? Because, why can't I remember it? Why can't I remember it? Oh, he had a porphyria. He had a porphyria. I was like, oh my God, I know this disorder. I was like, he has an issue in like his DNA or whatever. And it was just such a nerdy moment that I actually had to pause the show and just like look at myself in shame. Like I'm in the office, I'm like looking off to the side, like, did I really just do that? Because dang, like I literally can't just enjoy it just to enjoy it anymore. The House is probably the worst show because House is supposed to be a diagnostician, which is not a real doctor. We all diagnose. And so having the show be only about him trying to figure out what's wrong with these patients, I swear I'm not even chilling. I'm like actively participating in the dang show. It's also very funny when there's a bunch of medical inaccuracies, like when people 100% would not be alive in this scenario, or they allow certain people to do things that you just in a hospital immediate lawsuit. So I think it was in season 1 in a couple of the earlier episodes, they had first year med students, y'all. First year med students getting supplies from the crash cart for an active code. That is not a thing. You will be elbowed, moved around by the nurses and whomever else, the PAs, whoever needs access to that cart, you will be moved. And then legally speaking, you don't have any type of knowledge or a licensure to be touching anything on that medical cart and giving it for an active code, because if you're wrong or you get the wrong thing or whatever, the hospital is gonna be liable, you know what I'm saying? So that just was so funny to me. It's not a thing. If you are a first year med student watching my channel, if you're a pre-medical student watching my channel, just know there's certain limits that you're going to have in the hospital setting. It is not at all like what you're going to see on TV. Absolutely not. But anyways, I just wanted to come in here and say that because I thought that was so funny. And I don't know, maybe I'll have to do a little med student reacts kind of segment on my channel one day. I don't know. But yeah, back to the montage.
All right.
For now, yes.
Because the baby wasn't breathing, so you need to keep breathing. Okay, y'all, I gotta lean back because I don't feel like moving my setup. But I just put the asparagus inside of the oven and I'm gonna let that cook to at least like the last like 10 minutes or so before I add in my bread and get started with the meat, because it just doesn't make sense for me to cook the rest of my food and like my asparagus isn't done. So I'm about to like hang out and chill. So I'll be back. So now we are 9 minutes out. Time to make the meat. And then yeah, like I said, rice ready to cook, bread up there, pop that in for a couple minutes and I'm all done. I'm gonna be eating goods. I actually try not to eat red meat like that too often though, because I don't know, I do feel like it does impact female reproduction. I don't know, it just feels super heavy and my hormones feel dysregulated. Like I just try to stay away from it. I am more of a fish girl. I love me some fish, but I don't really like cooking fish. I don't, especially salmon. Salmon be getting dry fast. Like that first day of salmon, you gotta eat all that salmon. Salmon is not good to meal prep. I don't care what nobody say. But that second day, it be tasting like the Sahara Desert.
Real dry.
I'm just saying. I have half a mind to eat this entire loaf of bread, y'all. So this is the bread from the Cheesecake Factory. Bruh, this is the best bread. I obviously got too excited. This is the best bread ever. I feel like it's a good blend of hearty and sweet. I don't know, like them Hawaiian rolls at Texas Roadhouse, people be loving them, but they're way too sweet to me. It just tastes like, just like sweet mush. This has sweetness while still, again, giving that heartiness with the I don't even know what this is on here. That's on top. What is them? Oats? It's just so good with some fresh, hot butter. Not melted butter, but just like soft butter. Bro, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. I'm just gonna broil it for a few minutes just because it was so thick, you know, and I don't want to make that mistake of just not cooking it all the way through. And if you continue to pan sear meat, sometimes you only cook the top, so that's why I'm broiling now. So what I'm gonna do, damn, that's so good. I'm gonna flip it while it's inside the broiler. I'm gonna let it cook for like another 2 minutes. Flip it, let it cook some more, and then that's that. And then I'll heat up my bread, and voila, dinner is done. Chef Z. Looky look. Wait, I can't even like angle it without it falling. But yeah, I love it. I saved some of the meat for tomorrow with the leftover rice because this is more than enough for me with my bread. And now it's time to eat my rewards. Okay, y'all, so I'm finally getting into my skincare routine, and I'm kind of shook because it's about to be 11 o'clock. This is mad late. I ate dinner, right? And then I sat down and I started watching the King Von documentary on YouTube. I don't know why. I think I saw some type of headline that said Little Durk got arrested, and I'm not even a rap girly, okay? I am an R&B girl, all right? Very much R&B, very much alternative, okay? But I saw that headline and I don't know, I just like sat and just really watched it like through, not the whole thing, but just fixated on the screen after I got done eating because I don't know, maybe because I do have family members that are from similar environments. I say this all the time on my channel that I am from Baltimore. My fun fact is always going to be that if you watch The Wire, these are people that are my family members, or these are people that my family members know. Ha ha ha. It was filmed around, you know, where my family has been born and raised. And there's really nothing funny about that. Okay? It's really not. Because again, these are not environments that are suitable for living. I am such a huge advocate of just like social justice and different social movements when it comes to medicine. Because I'm a firm believer that again, these places of inequity should no longer exist. Like, this is 2024. What do you mean there are still neighborhoods that are such deep food deserts that the nearest grocery store is 35 minutes away? But yet the nearest store in which you could buy alcoholic beverages is up the street. How come they don't have any healthy food options? Not even a Subway exists in some of these places. You're telling me the only thing that they have to pick from is fried chicken and greasy McDonald's. That's it. That's all they get. And I'm describing my old neighborhood, by the way. I'm describing the neighborhood where my family grew up. And I don't know, all of that stuff really always sits heavy on my heart. So I think watching the documentary and kind of getting the backdrop and the context of just kind of where King Von lived and grew up and how so many things were normalized for him, it just got me going. It had me really sitting there like this, y'all. But anyway, now it's time to do the skincare because the lighting in here is just like not it, and I feel like my camera picks up on all these different light changes, so just forgive me. But my skincare routine is literally my favorite part of the week, especially my Sunday nights and my Wednesday nights. Those are my long deep skin cleanings. And then because this is the last Sunday of October, I am doing my deep monthly cleanse. So y'all about to see me shave my face. I'm about to wash my, cleanse my face first real good. I have a bunch of serums and stuff. Oh my god, I just realized that my Ulta products that I ordered aren't even here yet, and they're supposed to be my exfoliating acids. Because y'all, now that I am a girly in her late 20s, I am taking my skincare even more serious. I'm not playing. Hold on, let me lather up the face real quick. Okay, here we go. So I'm trying to take my skincare much more serious because look, when I am like in my late 30s, I'm talking like 36, 37, I want people to think that I'm 25, okay? Right now, I still do pass as like 24, 25. People usually don't guess that I'm 27, but I don't know. I don't really feel like it's that significant of a difference. I think, oh, 2 years younger, whatever. But like once I'm in my late 30s and people are thinking that I'm a whole decade younger, I have won. I have won the lottery. What are we talking about? And like I can definitely see this happening for me because like my mom and my dad look really young for their ages. My mom is like 52, and I am not saying this just because she's my mother. I wouldn't think that she's a day over maybe like 43, and that's pushing it. That is extremely pushing it. Yeah, I would say no. Actually, I would say it's a little accurate only because I don't know this. You know how when you get older, you get a little bit more tired. So I feel like because of that, I wouldn't assume that she's any younger than like 40 or something. But regardless, just looks alone, if you were just seeing a picture of her, yeah, there's no way that you would think, yeah, that's 52. Same thing with my dad. My dad is turning, oh my God. Oh my God. Hold up. I'm about to start crying. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I got a little emotional just now because my dad is turning 59 this year. Like, whoa, he only has one more year before he's entering his 60s. And I know that 60 isn't decrepit. Like, I'm well aware that 60 is still somewhat young for the elderly bracket. I think you're not even classified as medically elderly until 65. But still, just the fact that time is just flying, man, and I am not ready for my parents to age. I'm just not. My mom is my best friend, but then my dad, you know, it's just that natural attachment that you may have to your father figure. And so just thinking of them getting any older than they are right now and, you know, getting tired. Both of my parents do have medical conditions, thank God, nothing super serious and severe, but still can be if not well managed, like diabetes and high blood pressure and whatnot. And I'm always stressing to them that they need to go work out. Like, my mom makes me so mad with this, y'all. She'll call me and be like, oh, I was supposed to go to the gym, but I just didn't feel like it. I was supposed to go on a walk, but like, I just didn't do it. And don't get me wrong, I'm also like this. I'm actually going to be recording a 5-day fitness routine next week for you guys, just to show you how I manage that while in med school and inside of my own head and having a bunch of things to do. So I totally understand that it's not always realistic to think that you're gonna have the perfect workout week, especially if you don't have the accountability around you. But it's like, mom, you have type 2 diabetes, which means that like that came up, that popped up. It's not like you were always diabetic. So there are things just going on in your body that are not functioning the way that they used to when you were young. So I need you to just stay on top of your health. Thank you very much. And it's just so crazy because with me being in med school and I'm just understanding more and more about the healthcare system and what things are supposed to look like or should and shouldn't look like. And then even as I'm, you know, getting my licensure, right? The step 1 exam is a part of your medical license. Step 2, step 3, all of that goes into you being a certified physician. And so when my mom tells me certain things and I've read this in a textbook or I've heard this from a doctor and it just doesn't sound right, and for legal purposes I am not giving my mother medical advice, just gotta put that out there. But when I hear certain things, I low-key go into a panic because as much as I don't want to make this channel a black, I'm a black woman type of space, because that's not all my focus is about and all are welcome here, at the end of the day I also cannot conveniently remove my status, right, as a black woman from the reality of America. I don't get to walk into certain settings and act like I'm not a black woman. There are certain things that I do have to pay attention to, that I do have to look out for, as does my family, who are the black men and the black women in my family, the black children in my family. And it can be pretty exhausting sometimes seeing it play out in real life. Like some of the things that my mom and my dad tell me, I'm like, what? Your doctor said what? They told you to do what? Like stuff that just don't be adding up. And then I then have to go and recommend that they go see another physician, get a second opinion and things like that, because again, legally I can't necessarily advise them. And it's just such a exhausting experience sometimes. As much as I am blessed and grateful that I'm going into this field and that I can be a representation and that I can be a resource to people who need it, it's exhausting to even think that I have to do that. You know, you would just think that people who sign up to have a medical licensure would do so fairly and equitably for all patients that they see. And that's just some of the things that I think about. Like, again, I love my parents down, but when they tell me certain stuff that they're not doing, I'm just like, please y'all, please y'all stressing me out. Okay, so I had to go and do that off camera because I was not about to nick myself, you know, in the name of a vlog that I got up off my face. This is only one. I had like 3 of these. But all you're gonna do is wash your face. I choose to use this Normaderm Phyto Action or whatever. And it has salicylic acid in it and some other stuff. But I just really like it because it pretty much strips my face bare. It literally feels super drying, which I normally wouldn't want. I prefer to use moisturizing cleansers. But I like this for these deeper skincare treatments treatment days, because in order to do dermaplaning, you need to use in my opinion, a semi-thick oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I use this 100% rose hip oil from The Ordinary. But you want it to be a bit thicker, so that way the blade can just glide against your skin without getting caught and snagged. And you definitely want to be careful if you have textured skin, you know, acne or, you know, whatever else. You just want to be mindful, because you don't want to be slicing that off. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all. I just seen that my package was attempted delivery today for the rest of my skincare routine that I was gonna do with the exfoliating acids like I was talking about before. And they said that they attempted to deliver at like 1 o'clock. How? Because my office is still open at that time. My office does close early on Sundays, but it was open at that time. So where did you go? It's giving you lying. But whatever, it says it's gonna be here tomorrow, so let me just continue with the rest of the routine after I rewash my face. Okay, so also back to my family, something else that they were telling me is that now we're starting to talk more about things like advanced directives, and my family was like, yeah, like we want you to be the person that we call in the case of emergencies. Both my mom and my dad. My parents are divorced, by the way. So these are two separate occasions in which they're saying, yeah, it's gonna be all on you. And I don't know, y'all. I have 2 older brothers, so a part of me is kind of like, bruh, like, where are they at? But then I also appreciate that they trust me to kind of make those very serious decisions, because ultimately, whether I like it or not, I am the person in my immediate family who just did more. My mom and I are the only 2 people in the family to have, you know, undergraduate degrees, and then I am the only person who went on to pursue higher education even after that, and then I will be the person that makes the most money in my entire family as a projected doctor, the type of doctor that I want to be. Even if it's not surgery, regardless of things that I want to do are just going to put me in a different tax bracket than my family has ever seen before. And so I understand that that's part of it, but then also just knowing that I had the kind of will, determination, and grit and know-how to navigate in this space, despite the fact that I don't have anybody to guide me in my immediate family. Both my parents have definitely praised, acknowledged, and oh my god, hold on, hold on. And so just kind of hearing them say these things and putting this type of trust in me definitely does feel good, but then also does put a certain degree of pressure, because I don't want to disappoint them, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just a girl who's still trying to figure out her freaking skincare. Like, I have all these dang products because I'm worried about my look still, and just generally taking care of myself while simultaneously having these very serious conversations. And I think that to me is what is super distinct about me being in my later 20s as compared to my early 20s. I feel like when I was younger, like 22, 23, none of this stuff was really on my mind like that. But again, now that I am 27 and, you know, I am ending the near of my medical education degree, right? I'm about to graduate in 2 years now. It's just kind of like, dang, I really have to think about this stuff. I don't get to be just a girl. I don't get to just be like lily-dilly, lackadaisical. And I think that's why, again, these self-care routines are so important to me, because sometimes it can just feel like a lot. And I be needing the time to just and just get out of my body and not take myself so serious. Like, yes, these conversations are serious. Yes, these conversations matter. Yes, I do have to think about them, you know, give a little bit more thought to them than maybe I did, you know, a couple years ago. But ultimately, I still get to enjoy my days. I still get to have simple pleasures. I still get to have simple enjoyments. You know, I get to do things that just aren't the end of the world. And I don't know. I think that's so important, y'all. As much as I want to go out here and get it and accomplish and achieve all these things and be here for my family and do all this stuff, I also just want to have fun. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy. I want to make mistakes. I want to laugh. I want to grow. I don't know. I want to have that good balance of life, because I can definitely see how being in this profession can just drive you up a wall and have you just in a nervous breakdown. Like in medicine, it's always, you got to get this right. You got to do that right. Right diagnosis. Why is the reason for this? Why is the reason for for that. Like, you're constantly just questioning yourself. You're constantly questioning your reality, challenging things, changing things, pushing things. Like, it just seems like it never ends. Granted, of course, there are times where, you know, I've seen my mentors and people who are in charge of me, my supervisors, whatever, have pretty chill days where it's not that deep and people are not immediately dying. But just still, the fact that your peers and your co-workers are also in a constant state of anxiety, I just think puts you in a weird pressure cooker. Back to what I was talking about with the King Von documentary. All environments can be toxic, right? If you have too many of an element. And in this case, when it comes to medicine, I feel like that element really is just seriousness, taking everything so freaking serious. And so yeah, self-care Sundays and my Wednesdays and going to yoga and being in the gym, having my little routines, having my little schedules, having things that I like to do means so much to me, y'all. And if you don't have those things, please go and get them. If you don't have something that you can just, you know, unplug and de-stress, if you don't have a way, maybe it's not skincare, right? Maybe it's not using a whole bunch of, like, y'all, I have so many products. Maybe it's not using a whole bunch of products and testing out a whole bunch of different things, and that's totally fine. Just find whatever it is and just enjoy it, okay? Enjoy it for the moment so that way the next day can be a bit more bearable. Like, I cannot preach that enough. The last thing that I'll say, really, because again, this routine is not that long, it's mainly just the shaving of my face part, is that self-care doesn't even have to be this regulated, right? How I'm saying my skincare routine on Sunday and Wednesday and my yoga on, you know, Sundays. It can just be whatever. Maybe it's a nap after work. Okay, that's self-care. Maybe it's listening to your favorite podcast. Maybe it's watching your favorite show. I think there should be just sprinkles of little self-care and enjoyment throughout your day. You know what I'm saying? I get that we all have 9-to-5 type work. There's things that just need to get done, need to be arranged. And God knows that I need to be better when it comes to managing and balancing the things that I have to get done compared to the stuff that I want to get done. But I just think sometimes it's okay to just tell yourself, I'm taking a mental break right now. I'm taking a mental break right now. I'm gonna do me a little woosah, do me a little uncharge, and that's okay. It's not the end of the universe that I'm not being so serious all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. That's all. I just think the older that I get, the more that I'm considering all of these different things, because is this the right thing that I want? Sorry. Yeah, pause, sidebar, because I do have to do a quick little product shout out. I got these testers from Youth to the People on my birthday from Sephora. So I got me a little kit. It came with the what is this? The cleanser and the lightweight moisturizer, as well as a mask. And y'all, let me tell you something. This just might be one of those companies that I solicit to, you know what I mean? Is solicit the right word? Hold on, let me look that up, because did I just say something crazy? But this is just one of those companies that, as I do try to grow my platform, I 100% plan to be like, hey, hi, do you want to collab and give me some money and some free products to promote, because I love your stuff. Because that's something else that I want to bow to y'all before I forget. As this channel grows and develops, and yes, I am going to be trying to integrate more lifestyle, so outfit of the days, casual product mentions, things like that, because I do want to get paid. Medical school is not cheap. Your girl has bills. Your girl has debt, okay? Despite the fact that I have a scholarship, I still have debt, especially credit card debt. Mind your business. And so as I am like venturing into just expanding myself as a brand, I will never promote y'all things that I would not actually use or have not actually used. I actually think that's crazy. I can't stand when other influencers who I know in real life, because trust and believe, I know some of your faves. Some of y'all have commented asking about said faves, and peep how I didn't say anything back. Okay, so I just never want to be one of those content creators that just sells stuff to sell stuff and says things to say things. Like, nah, if I'm recommending, it's because I've used it, it's because I stand by it. And I'll even be quick to tell you that the formula changed. Like, I have some makeup, y'all, some blush specifically that I love. I went into Target the other day and seen that it is a completely different color. Formula totally different. So now because of that, I can't even recommend that y'all use it. I can't even tag it in any of my get ready with me type videos, because you can't go and buy this product the way that I got it. So why would I recommend it to you? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just a part of integrity. But anyways, I just wanted to wrap this up by saying, yes, please be mindful of your self-care. It doesn't have to be super scheduled. It doesn't have to be super regulated. Just do it. And yeah, I hope that by watching me do my self-care day in a more, I don't know, realistic manner, right? I hope that just by seeing me just kind of do these things casually, it motivates you to be like, you know what? I can give myself a little TLC too, because you deserve it, my loves. Have a good night.